Welcome to Red Bandana Gaming, the channel where Logan will show you everything. From gameplay to gear, their crew is here to take you on a journey through every atmosphere. Releases to news, you don't have to choose. Red Bandana Gaming is here for you.
Hey everybody, Logan here. Today's video, well, it's a little different than what we normally do because I've been thinking, what am I going to be collecting for 2022? And that made me want to propose the same question to you guys. What are you going to be collecting in 2022? Some people are like, video games. No. A little more specific. Let me reel this back in a little bit before we get started. In 2019, I decided to focus a lot of my time and efforts on collecting Nintendo 64 there. I did as much as I can in terms of gathering up all the cheap and, the sports games and stuff like that really aren't worth much to help flesh out the collection. And then through 2020, I was still picking up the stragglers and some of the ones that have become a little too expensive. I've gone a little out of my reach right now, but I picked up a few like Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask Collector's Editions, the gold carts. I got Earthworm Jim 3D and a few other really good titles. The Pokemon Stadiums and whatnot, the ones that have recently shot up drastically. There are a few that are still out of my reach, like StarCraft 64 and Clay Fighter 63 and a third Sculptor's Cut. But eventually, I'll get those. But 2019 was really a focus year on Nintendo 64. Since then, I've just been picking up 64 games here and there. 2020, I really did a focus on, Super Famicom. I know I didn't really post too much. I did a collection video not too long ago. Actually, it's been more than a year now on Super Famicom, and then I got as many as I could, and it's been getting hard to find ones that I don't have, and that's, I know there's tons of them. I only have about maybe 50 or 60 Super Famicom games. I think it's around 60, but it seems like the ones that have been coming into my local game stores have been pretty much the same ones I have. I'm not sure why, but that seems to be the case. So I pulled off a little bit on that on 2020. 2021 was a little bit of a different beast. With moving and everything, I didn't really focus on one thing. It was just focusing on getting this room and getting the house, getting everything situated. But when I did go to retro game stores, especially the last few months, since things have been really settled in, I've been focusing on not one console, but a brand, Sega. Saturn, Dreamcast, and Game Gear. Why? Because there's not as much to collect for those, and those are really pricey, so I'm trying to pick up the ones that either meant something to me or just ones that I can find that, because Saturn I never had. I ended up choosing the PlayStation over the Saturn when I had the money when I was younger, when I went to go pick it up, and PlayStation won out. And do I regret it? I don't know. In retrospect, yeah, but will I have still had those games? I don't know. So, I have been picking up, I looked over there because I thought the collection wall was still over there, but I forgot I moved it. I have a lot of Game Gear lately. I've been picking up a lot of Game Gear. I might even be doing a end of the year Game Gear video for you. I've been thinking about that. Not sure how I'm going to put that together. But, as a collector, a lot of people really focus on one collection or one at a time. Some people just pick and choose. I really like to set my sights on a certain console and say, this is my goal this year. I'm very goal oriented, especially since I've gotten older. I like to really go, all right, this is my goal. This is how I'm going to achieve it. This is how I'm setting out to do it. And that's actually a good little thing to keep in your life, to do whatever you're doing. Just be goal oriented. It really helps you feel more of a sense of accomplishment and really get things done. So recently I've been here and there starting, I guess it started back in August when I was picking up a few games at MegaCon. And I ordered some things offline, and then the other day is when it really clicked that this is what I'm going to do in 2022, and that's collect Super Nintendo. And why? Because I picked up Illusion of Gaia. Never had this back when I was a kid. Lich said it's a fantastic RPG. I've always seen it. I've always known about it, but never had it. Saw it at my local game store, Cybertron. Shout out to you guys. I love you guys over there. The favorite game store, local game store. This was $32. And I was like, I looked it up. I think the regular asking value was about $31. I'm like, okay, $1 more, no big deal. And I had normally seen this for a lot more throughout the years. And I was like, made me think. Super Nintendo games have been fluctuating lately. And I really didn't pay attention because what I mainly did with Super Nintendo over the course of the few years was just pick up the games that really meant something to me or I had when I was a kid. And I'm still actually trying to do that. And I was collecting as I go. I got a few expensive ones like Marvel Superheroes War of the Gems. Got King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. A few here and there are really expensive ones. Power Rangers, the movie, the fighting game, all the Power Rangers stuff. And I was like, you know what? I think this year I'm going to do it because prices are, like I said, they're fluctuating. Some are going up, but a lot of them are going down. Why this is, a lot of people speculate that after being out in the market for so many years and people who really were diehard into said console, like how it crashed with Atari and now how Nintendo's starting to, the original NES is starting to, I wouldn't say bottom out, but come down a little bit in terms of value because all the major collectors that have been seeking those titles have already got them. So there are still a lot of people out there. There's still a lot of value. And then with the whole Weta nonsense, that's caused a few games to spike. But I was like, okay, before the expensive ones get too expensive, besides like Earthbound, I decided, hey, this really shot it for me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start doing Super Nintendo. Not just because of this. Right before that, I did the unboxing for it, and that's the Jellicoe Brawlers pack. I know this isn't an official cartridge, but I do like repro carts. Ooh, I do like mod carts. I don't like bootlegs. I'm not a big fan of stuff like that. I don't like hack. Well, it depends on what you call a hack. I don't like PC emulation of these things. I think it's a terrible thing. But having something like this, it is officially licensed by Jellicoe, and it was just re-released by 8-Bit. Retrobit. And I was like, you know what? This is cool. When I was playing it, I was like, man, I really love the Super Nintendo. I think it was the Super Nintendo that really started all this for me. That started my love. I had an NES, but it was always at my dad's house when I was young, so I only had a few games here and there, and you know, all the memories attached to it were me renting games at Blockbuster or this mom and pop VHS place that we used to go to. So yeah, I got that, and then I bought at MegaCon. No, it's not Maximum Carnage, but I will get that. I did really like that game. I'll spend the money for that. A Legend of Zelda, it's called Super 16-bit. It's, I guess some of them are ROM hacks, some of them aren't. Now, this cart does not work on a Retron. The only way to get a cart like this to work is play it on original hardware, which I find is actually interesting. So it did not work on my Retron 5, but Super Nintendo works just fine. This one has Zelda BS, which is the big reason I bought it, because there's no way to get that game here unless you're getting it on a repro cart. It has Link to the Past, but yeah, I'm going to invest in finding... My problem is I haven't been able to find a good copy of A Link to the Past, like a good quality copy. And it's got some other ones which I can't even read. One's called Parallel Worlds. That's Parallel Worlds, and this one, it looks like it's from Majora's Mask, but it isn't. The text is too Yeah, squidgy, kind of blurry. And what's sad is I can't even capture footage for this because I use the Retrons to capture footage because it's HD. I have no way to capture footage. So I'm sorry that you're not seeing anything from this. But this made me go, you know what? I like little things like this. I have a number of ROM hacks on cartridge for Nintendo 64. They're actually right there and next to my Japanese ones. And I thought, a few of these here and there. Now, I have seen repros for Earthbound and Super Metroid and Turtles in Time. I have the original Turtles in Time. But I'm like, you know what? That's not the way to play these games. Repros, ROM hacks are cool because they don't exist. Like I have Dragon Ball Kart 64. People like to say, well, yeah, I actually did a video on that. Dragon Ball Kart 64 is a ROM hack of Mario Kart 64 with Dragon Ball characters. So it's not like you're short-sighting yourself or whatever you want to call it by not buying the original Mario Kart. You can still buy the original Mario Kart and have fun with this ROM hack that was put on a cart to play it on the Nintendo 64. So I've seen a number of those like this. I do have one. I forget what it's called. Earthbound 1? Yeah, Earthbound Mother or Earthbound 1. I can't remember if they merged the Japanese. I think it was called Earthbound 1 or something like that. And it's it doesn't boot up on the Retron 5, so I had to play all these on original hardware, which is fine. But long story short, all these recent adventures or experiences or whatever you want to call them with Super Nintendo made me go, all right, you know what? 2022, the retro console I'm going to be shopping for is Super Nintendo. I only have about 30 games for it. I think around 30. Not that many. I used to have a lot more, and now I'm going to be searching out for titles like Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat 1, games I used to have when I was young, which now I only have, for some reason, I only have Mortal Kombat 3. And I don't have any of my Street Fighters, but I got them on Super Famicom. I don't know why. I had all those. So I'm going to go back and just repurchase all the games from my childhood first, and then start adding, some of the other interesting titles that I always wanted to play or I rented or stuff like that. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be collecting. And this shirt I know gave it a little bit away, but it's Super Famicom. Gave it a little bit of away, I guess, the idea of the video away. But thank you guys so much for watching. I want to hear what you guys are going to be collecting. Of course, I'm still going to be collecting the new stuff like Switch and Xbox Series X. Of course. Maybe some PS5 here and there. Because I'm a PS5. I got the Series X. I got the Halo one. Come on. So I want to hear what you guys are going to be collecting. Do you guys focus on one console at a time? Do you say, all right, this is what I'm going to collect like I do? Do you put out that goal? Do you say, all right, this is what I'm going to do? And this one is a little looser. It's just Super Nintendo for 2022. Get as many as I can for the end of the year. And then still buy, the new stuff here and there. But what do you guys do? Do you just, like I said, do you set a goal? Do you just say, hey, I'm just going to buy whatever I can find? Am I going to complete this collection? Am I here to just buy Nintendo Switch? What are you doing? How do you go about collecting? But thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. Make sure you head on over to redbandanagaming.com. Follow us on our socials. Visit our Teespring link. Spring link. I keep forgetting. Spring link in the description below where you can get all kinds of great Red Bandana Gaming merchandise. It would really help us out. Especially this time of year. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Like we always say, be legendary. And thanks again.